Hello everyone, it's us, the team at TV Days Drama Digest, here again with an emotional deep dive into the latest developments on Days of Our Lives. Today, we're examining a heart-wrenching storyline involving Doug, Julie, and the fallout from Doug's recent actions. But the question on everyone's mind is Doug's time in Salem really over? And is Peyton Meyer, the actor behind Doug, preparing to exit the show? Let's break it all down and discuss the future of Doug's character and what this may mean for the drama that continues to unfold in Salem. The stolen necklace and Doug's regret for those following the storyline. Doug's recent actions have shaken the foundation of his relationships, particularly with Julie. The stolen necklace, Alice Horton's cherished possession, has been the focal point of mounting tension. Doug, the man who had spent years proving his loyalty and devotion to Julie, found himself at the center of a shocking betrayal. As the truth came to light, it became painfully clear that Doug was the one responsible for stealing the precious family heirloom. This revelation did not come easily. Doug had ample time to confess his crime, to come clean to Julie, and perhaps to begin repairing the deep rift he had caused. But instead of taking that path, Doug chose silence, allowing the lie to fester and grow. The betrayal cut deep, not just because of the theft, but because of the trust that was shattered in an instant. Julie, who had welcomed Doug into her life and treated him as a part of her family, felt utterly blindsided. She thought Doug was the miracle that had come to help her heal and rebuild her life, yet he had taken advantage of her vulnerability at the worst possible time. Tate's revelation, a shocking betrayal unveiled. The explosive twist came when Tate, of all people, decided to expose Doug's secret. In a shocking move, Tate went behind Holly's back and made a call to Julie, revealing the truth about Doug's involvement in the theft. Tate's decision to reveal Doug's dark secret caught everyone off guard, including the viewers. It wasn't just a betrayal of Doug's trust. It was an act of shocking recklessness that added fuel to an already raging fire. Tate's motive for exposing Doug has been speculated about by fans. Was he driven by a sense of righteousness? Did he want to protect Holly from the truth, or was there a more selfish reason behind his actions? Regardless of Tate's reasons, the outcome was clear. Julie was left reeling from the news, struggling to process the fact that Doug had stolen the necklace and kept the truth from her all along. Julie's reaction was raw and filled with pain. She had always believed that Doug was a man of integrity, someone who could be trusted with her heart and her family. But now, that trust had been shattered beyond repair. Julie confronted Doug about the theft, and it was clear that Doug knew the gravity of his actions. The words he spoke to Julie were soaked with regret, but it seemed too little, too late. He had lost her trust, and the damage he had done to their relationship seemed irreversible. Doug's heartfelt apology, a man at his lowest. The confrontation between Doug and Julie was as emotional as it was painful. In an attempt to salvage whatever he could of their relationship, Doug apologized to Julie, acknowledging the enormity of his mistake. He called himself desperate and stupid, fully aware that what he had done was unforgivable. His apology was filled with genuine remorse, but it also felt like a man who knew that his actions had led him to a point of no return. Doug's words were heavy with the understanding that he had ruined the one relationship that truly mattered to him. He described Julie as the light in his life, the one person who had given him purpose and meaning. But in a moment of weakness and poor judgment, Doug had allowed his own desperation to cloud his better judgment, leading to this painful betrayal. As he left the Horton house, Doug's farewell was tinged with sadness and regret. He knew that he had destroyed everything he held dear, and he was fully aware of the consequences that awaited him. Julie's heart was broken, and no matter how much she wanted to forgive him, the pain of his betrayal made it nearly impossible to find a way back. Doug's departure from the house was final, and it seemed that this would mark the end of his time in Salem, at least for the foreseeable future. Julie's decision to kick him out of her life was one that came after much soul-searching, but it was clear that Doug had no place in her world anymore. Is Doug leaving Salem for good? The question now arises, is Doug's time in Salem truly over? After the devastating revelation of his crime and his tearful apology, Doug may not have a reason to stay in town. The weight of his actions and the irreversible damage done to his relationship with Julie may force him to make the painful decision to leave Salem for good. His character has been at the center of some of the most emotional moments in Days of Our Lives, but this betrayal may mark the end of his storyline for now. Fans have been speculating about whether actor Peyton Meyer, who portrays Doug, will be leaving the show permanently. The recent events on screen have certainly left Doug in a precarious position, and it's unclear how much more his character can do in Salem without completely reestablishing the relationships he's ruined. In the soap opera world, characters are often written in and out of storylines, and with the way things have unfolded, it's entirely possible that Doug's departure from Salem could be permanent, at least for the time being. The ripple effect of Doug's actions on Holly and others' Doug's actions have far-reaching consequences, not just for Julie, but also for those who have become entangled in his web of lies. Holly, who is deeply invested in her relationship with Doug, is left to pick up the pieces of her broken heart. As Tate's betrayal becomes clearer, Holly must come to terms with the fact that she has been kept in the dark, and that her relationship with Doug was built on lies. The impact of this revelation will undoubtedly weigh heavily on Holly, forcing her to confront the reality of her involvement with a man who is capable of such betrayal. But the fallout doesn't end with Holly. Doug's actions will ripple through the Horton family and beyond. Julie, who has always been the emotional heart of the Horton family, will have to process the loss of a man she trusted so deeply. The hurt caused by Doug's betrayal will be felt by everyone in Salem who knew him, and the road to healing will be long and difficult. What's next for Doug and Julie? As Doug faces the consequences of his actions, the road ahead for both him and Julie is uncertain. For Doug, leaving Salem might be his only option if he hopes to escape the emotional wreckage he has caused. But can he ever truly escape the weight of his betrayal? Is there a chance for him to redeem himself in the eyes of those he's hurt, or has his time in Salem come to an end? As for Julie, her heart is broken, and while forgiveness is always a possibility in the world of Days of Our Lives, it will take a monumental shift for her to ever trust Doug again. The damage done is deep, and the emotional scars left behind by his betrayal will be hard to erase. Julie may choose to move on from Doug, but the memories of their time together will likely linger, making it difficult for her to completely close the door on him. Will Peyton Meyer stay or go? The question remains, will Peyton Meyer leave Days of Our Lives? As of now, it's unclear whether Doug's exit is permanent or if there's still hope for redemption in his storyline. Soap operas are known for their twists and turns, and characters who seem to be written out sometimes find their way back into the fold. However, given the nature of Doug's betrayal and the way things have played out, it's possible that this could mark the end of his character's arc for the foreseeable future. Whether Doug stays in Salem or leaves for good, the impact of his actions will be felt for a long time to come. His betrayal of Julie, Tate's involvement, and the subsequent fallout have set the stage for more drama, heartbreak, and emotional moments that will keep fans on the edge of their seats. Conclusion: Doug's fate hangs in the balance as we await the resolution of Doug's storyline. One thing is clear: the consequences of his actions have forever altered his place in Salem. Whether or not Doug will leave town, the damage caused by his betrayal is undeniable. Julie's heartache, Holly's disillusionment, and the wider ripple effect throughout the Horton family and beyond will continue to play out in the coming episodes. What do you think about Doug's future in Salem? Will Peyton Meyer's time on Days of Our Lives come to an end, or is there a chance for Doug's redemption? Can Julie ever forgive Doug, or has this betrayal set in motion the end of their relationship? Share your thoughts, theories, and predictions in the comments below. We'd love to hear what you think. We hope you enjoyed it and look forward to sharing more with you in the future. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe TV Days Drama Digest for more updates on Days of Our Lives.